Hello everyone and welcome to my Y&R Insider 24 update channel. Following the revelation of Holden's espionage, Kyle and Sienna are on collision course. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates reveal that Kyle Abbott and Sienna Bacall are headed for a confrontation. Let's get into the upcoming drama in Los Angeles because an interrogation is on the horizon following some spy antics involving Holden Novak. Kyle chased Claire to Los Angeles to a doubtful reunion she didn't bite. Fans of Y&R will recall Kyle's trip to Los Angeles in the hope of convincing Claire Newman to rethink their future together. Kyle aimed to win Claire back, but it seemed that disrupting her connection with Holden was his primary focus. Claire was not pleased with Kyle's aggressive approach and made it clear that she had no desire to swap tour guides. So far, Holden and Claire's trip has been enjoyable, but that doesn't mean Kyle is finished attempting to interfere, revealing he had some meetings in Los Angeles for a few days. This will provide Kyle with an opportunity to keep an eye on Holden and gather some information to alter Claire's viewpoint. As Sienna and Holden argue, Kyle will watch and become envious. After witnessing Holden in a tense situation with Sienna, Kyle will experience a sense of superiority during the week of October 20th to 24th. It will be clear that something is not right, so Kyle is going to make sure that Claire sees for herself how Holden is acting uptight and spending time with this mysterious woman. Naturally, that woman is not a mystery to Claire, as she has already encountered Sienna at the nightclub she manages. Claire might rush to defend Holden, even though she harbors some doubts about what he could be concealing. Kyle will doubt himself, so he will keep looking into Holden and coming to the conclusion that Sienna might be good for his plans. Sienna will be confronted by Kyle and subjected to an unwelcome interrogation. After observing Holden in a stressful encounter with Sienna, Kyle will experience a sense of superiority during the week of October 20th to 24th. Kyle will make sure that Claire sees for herself how rigid Holden is while spending time with a mysterious woman because it will be obvious that something is wrong. Of course, that woman is not a stranger to Claire, as she has already met Sienna at the nightclub she oversees. Despite her doubts about what Holden might be hiding, Claire may quickly come to his defense. Meanwhile, Kyle will have his own questions, prompting him to continue his investigation into Holden, ultimately deciding that Sienna could be advantageous for his schemes. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Y&R right now. The Young and the Restless spoilers, news, and updates can be found here frequently. As Kyle Abbott and Sienna Bacall find themselves locked on a path toward confrontation, driven by a web of deception that centers around Holden Novak's espionage, the most recent developments in The Young and the Restless promise a riveting collision of motives, emotions, and betrayals. What started out as a straightforward trip to Los Angeles quickly develops into a hurricane of suspicion and emotional turmoil. In an attempt to rekindle what once appeared to be a promising relationship, Kyle travels across the country with Claire Newman out of desperation and jealousy. However, under his good intentions is a deeper need for control, an unwillingness to let go of what he believes is rightfully his. After moving on with Holden, Claire makes it clear that she doesn't like Kyle's intrusion into her new life, but his persistence shows that he is more interested in finding out what Holden might be hiding than reconciling them. As Kyle immerses himself deeper into the undercurrents of Holden and Claire's relationship, he uncovers a surprising connection between Holden and Sienna Bacall. A connection that ignites the central conflict of this storyline and sets the stage for emotional warfare, betrayal, and revelation. Kyle's trip to Los Angeles begins under the guise of business meetings, but it quickly becomes evident that his true motive is espionage. While keeping a close eye on Holden's every move, he plays the role of a professional. The tension escalates as Kyle's jealousy manifests in calculated actions, tailing Holden, making inquiries about his meetings, and even positioning himself close enough to eavesdrop on conversations. The revelation that Holden is secretly meeting Sienna sends shockwaves through Kyle's psyche. To him, it is not just an opportunity but a weapon, proof that Holden is not the trustworthy man Claire believes him to be. However, Kyle fails to take into account the fact that his obsession obscures the subtleties of what he is seeing. Sienna is not Holden's lover. Rather, she is a woman with her own complicated motives, and it's possible that Sienna's relationship with Holden is based on secrecy that goes far beyond romance. Holden's erratic behavior and nervous encounters with Sienna support Kyle's theory that something illegal is taking place behind closed doors. This perceived betrayal invigorates Kyle, giving him a renewed sense of purpose to protect Claire, though his actions reveal less of a savior and more of a man spiraling into obsession. When Kyle's suspicions reach their breaking point, the plot thickens during the week of October 20th to 24th. He watches from the shadows as Holden and Sienna get into a heated argument that is full of veiled accusations and cryptic comments. To Kyle, this confrontation is confirmation of Holden's duplicity. The smug satisfaction he feels afterward underscores his self-righteousness. He believes he finally has the ammunition he needs to destroy Holden's credibility. In his mind, this will open Claire's eyes and pave the way for their reunion. However, his victory is meaningless because the reality of Holden and Sienna's relationship is far more nuanced. Sienna, managing a nightclub in Los Angeles, is a woman of influence and secrets, one whose past intertwines with Holden's in ways that have yet to surface. Claire has already met Sienna, and despite the fact that she can sense tension between the two of them, she is unable to comprehend the larger picture. In an effort to expose Holden's dishonesty, Kyle later brings the matter to Claire's attention, and Claire's defense of Holden only widens the gap between her and Kyle. Her loyalty, however, is tinged with doubt. She cannot shake the feeling that Holden is concealing something, and that Sienna's presence in his life may not be as harmless as he claims. Kyle's inability to step away from the situation leads him into dangerous territory. His decision to confront Sienna directly reveals a darker side of his personality, one that thrives on control, manipulation, and interrogation. He approaches her under the pretense of concern, but his real goal is to extract information, to corner her into revealing what Holden is hiding. However, Sienna is not an easy target. Confident, composed, and armed with her own secrets, she meets Kyle's intensity with equal force. Their confrontation becomes a psychological duel, each probing the other for weakness. Kyle's questions are sharp and invasive, suggesting that he already knows more than he does, while Sienna remains cryptic, hinting that Holden's connection to her might be far more dangerous than Kyle imagines. This interrogation scene becomes the turning point in their dynamic, setting the stage for a power struggle that neither fully controls. As Kyle presses harder, Sienna begins to see through his motives, realizing that his interest in the truth is clouded by jealousy. She accuses him of using Holden's supposed betrayal as an excuse to reclaim Claire, striking at the core of his insecurities. Sienna recognizes Kyle's potential threat, and Kyle realizes that he may have underestimated the woman he thought he could manipulate. The confrontation ends without a resolution but shakes both parties. The brilliance of this unfolding storyline lies in its layered ambiguity. Every character operates under partial truths, and every motive is tainted by emotion. The genesis of this entire sequence of events, Holden's espionage, remains a mystery. Is he truly a spy, or is he being framed by circumstances beyond his control? His clandestine meetings with Sienna suggest that he is involved in something more dangerous than romantic deceit, perhaps a corporate secret, a blackmail scheme, or a past crime resurfacing to haunt him. Sienna, for her part, walks a fine line between ally and adversary. Her interactions with Holden suggest loyalty, yet her growing connection to Kyle, born out of confrontation, hints at an unexpected alliance that could shift the balance of power. As she and Kyle circle each other like predators, both begin to realize that they might need one another to survive the fallout of Holden's unraveling secrets. This uneasy alliance, if it forms, could redefine every relationship in their orbit, drawing Claire into a vortex of deception she is ill-prepared to handle. Emotionally, the story captures the core essence of the young and the restless. Love entangled with ambition, morality clashing with desire, and truth obscured by personal bias. Kyle's descent into obsession mirrors his struggle with identity, torn between the polished Abbott legacy and his own flawed humanity. His actions reveal a man desperate for control in a life spiraling beyond his grasp. Claire represents the moral compass he's lost, yet her own wavering trust in Holden suggests that she too is standing on unstable ground. The narrative becomes more unpredictable as a result of Sienna's dual function as catalyst and wild card. She is the embodiment of danger wrapped in allure, capable of destroying or saving those around her depending on where her loyalties fall. The espionage thread involving Holden expands the scope of the drama, transforming what could have been a simple love triangle into a layered mystery of deceit, betrayal, and power. As the storyline moves forward, the question is no longer simply about who is lying, but about who will break first. Kyle's pursuit of the truth may lead him into a trap of his own making, while Sienna's secrets could expose Holden's real motives or protect them. The collision course between Kyle and Sienna is inevitable, and when it happens, it will not just be a clash of personalities, but a reckoning of truths too dangerous to remain hidden. The Young and the Restless thrives on such emotional and moral chaos, and this arc promises to be one of its most explosive yet. A tale of espionage, obsession, and survival in the glamorous yet treacherous world of Los Angeles. Kyle and Sienna clash as Holden manipulates Claire. According to the Young and the Restless spoilers, Sienna Bacall and Kyle Abbott are about to enter each other's LA circles. Let's get into the hotly merging plotlines that are currently taking place on the West Coast, where several plots are taking place. LA encompasses half of Genoa City. Holden Novak and Claire Newman took off to LA for business and pleasure. Claire needs time away from Kyle, but lo and behold, his answer was to follow her cross-country and give her a few flowers and a lot of guilt. Kyle is desperate over getting Claire back, but his ham-fisted gesture did not sit well with her. Despite Claire's explanations for why she is having fun with Holden rather than him, the man is clueless. Kyle's pushy behavior is unsettling. Kyle told Holden and Claire that his meetings in Los Angeles will keep him there. He is actually spying on his girlfriend and her friend. During the week of October 20th to 24th, fans will see Kyle witness Holden and Sienna in an intense moment together. Next, he tries to warn Claire that Holden is spending time with another woman, but Claire has already met Sienna. Despite Holden's defense, Claire may begin to doubt his authenticity. Kyle goes on alert status. Kyle confronts Sienna, and instead of being chastened, Sienna could warn Kyle to back off and butt out. In GC, Kyle is a legend, but in LA, he is nothing. We anticipate that Sienna's toughness will respond to Kyle's ferocity and place him in his place. What happens to Claire next? Kyle is in Los Angeles to assist Claire and uncover information regarding Holden and Audra Charles. But we think he'll get caught up in the Noah Newman drama going on at the same time. Red Hot the Young and the Restless spoilers hint that before all is said and done, Kyle and Sienna tangle in a way that no one saw coming. This is a developing plot, so stay tuned for updates and news on this scintillating mystery taking place away from GC. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with the Young and the Restless right now. Get comfy and gain access to the best soap information available online by checking back frequently for the most recent Y&R news, updates, and spoilers.